What's up guys, Groovy Guitar Dude here with a beginner guitar solo for Yellow by Coldplay. If this video helps you out, hit that like and subscribe button, and the guitar we're jamming on today is called a Breedlove C25 SR. Guys, the first thing you need to know to play Yellow on guitar is that we're going to be in standard tuning and we will not need a capo to play this song. The next thing you want to know to play Yellow on guitar is the structure of this song. We're going to start with a verse, then go to chorus, then verse and chorus again, and we'll finish up the song with one last verse to take us out. And the last thing you want to know before we dive into Yellow is the 4 chords that you need to play this song. Now, a really quick note before we dive into these chords is that some of these chords are bar chords, but we're not playing the full bar version. So even if you're a beginner, this is actually still a pretty beginner-friendly song because we're not playing the full bar chord version of these chords. We're going to leave the B string and the high E string open for all of these chords, which makes them a lot easier to play. So with that in mind, the first chord we need for Yellow is going to be a B chord. The next chord is going to be a G sharp minor. The next chord is an F sharp. And the last chord is an E. And I'll have short chord tutorials for those in the pinned comment below for those of you who need them. And with all that in mind, guys, let's dive into Yellow. Guys, Yellow is such a timeless song. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's a beautiful one. It's one of those songs that I feel like everybody should learn on acoustic guitar if you're learning acoustic guitar, and if you like Coldplay, of course. But it's just a beautiful song, and it's one of those songs that's actually easier to play than it sounds. Now, of course, in this lesson, we're focusing on the acoustic guitar. We're not really playing those lead parts, but the acoustic guitar is actually very easy to match up with what's being played without it being too terribly complicated, but still sounding very, very accurate. So, first thing we're going to take a look at for what we're playing for Yellow is what we're playing for our verses. For our verses, we're going to have a pretty simple chord progression and a pretty simple strum pattern to go along with it. The chord progression we're going to be using for our verses is going to be B, F sharp, E, and back to B. And that's going to repeat over and over again through all of our verses. Now, one quick reminder about the chords we're using for this. Those look intimidating, they look like bar chords, but we're actually keeping the B string and the high E string open. So you don't need to worry about barring the full chord. You can just play those top 4 strings and fret those top 4 strings and leave those bottom ones open. It's going to give you that big open sound, but it's also going to make those chords a lot easier to play. So let's take a look at what we're doing for strum pattern for this. For our verse strum pattern, for each chord, we're going to do 4 sets of 4 down strums, and then we're going to add a down up to the end of it. So a quick walkthrough of what that strum pattern is going to look like with the whole verse chord progression is about like this. We'll start with our B chord. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just about like that. So 4 sets of 4 down strums, and then tagging down up to the end of each one of those chords. Nothing too crazy here, guys. I know those chords look a little intimidating, but we are not playing the full bar chord versions of those, and then it helps that the strum pattern's pretty straightforward too, because we're just using mostly down strums. Biggest thing is just kind of keeping count and remembering where you're at. So, guys, with all that in mind, a couple times through the chord progression and strum pattern, we're going to repeat through all the verses on Yellow. We'll look about like this without me talking. From there, guys, the only other thing that you need to know to play Yellow on guitar is what we're playing for our choruses. For our choruses, we're going to have a very similar feel, but we're going to switch up what we're playing for our chord progression and strum pattern. So our chord progression for our choruses is going to be E, and E again, so E for 2 measures. Then we're going to go to G sharp minor, and then F sharp. And that's going to be our chord progression that we'll repeat through all of the choruses. Now, for a strum pattern for each chord, we'll use our E chord as our example here. We're going to do 4 down strums, followed by a down up. So same kind of feel as what we had for our verses, but a little shorter. One exception to this is the first E chord. The first E chord, we're not going to play that last down up. For for that strum pattern. We're actually just going to continue on to the next one because we're playing the E for 2 measures, but on the second E chord, we will add that down up. So main thing, first time through the strum pattern on that very first E chord, don't play the down up. So a little walkthrough of our whole chord progression with that strum pattern will look about like this. We'll start with our E chord. We're going to go down, 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 up. And then we'll go to G sharp minor, down, 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 up. And then F sharp, down, 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 up. About like that. Or a little closer to full speed, we'll go down, 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 up. Just about like that, repeated through all of our choruses on Yellow. So nothing crazy here, guys. Like I said, very similar to feel to what we're playing in the verses. We're just cutting down our strum pattern quite a bit and changing up the chord progression a little, but same kind of feel as what we had in our verses. So a couple times through the chord progression and the strum pattern that we're going to be using on our choruses in Yellow will look about like this without me talking. And guys, that is everything you need to know to play Yellow on guitar. As always, if you have any questions, you can hit me up in the comments down below. I'm usually pretty quick getting back to those. And again, if this video helps you out, hit that subscribe button. I have about 875 other guitar and ukulele lessons on this channel, and I usually try to post at least 3 to 5 new lessons every single week. So if you're learning guitar or ukulele, there cannot be a more perfect channel for you to check out. If you want to see what I'm up to in between videos, you can hit up my Instagram at @thegroovyguitardude. And lastly, guys, if you need any extra help with this song or any other aspect of beginner guitar, you can hit up this link right up here to book a one-on-one lesson with me. Guys, Yellow is such a timeless song, and it's one that I've wanted to teach on this channel for a very long time, and I just never have. But I'm kind of chopping down songs that I've wanted to teach for a long time on this channel right now. I'm kind of just going through a list that I have in my mind of songs that I've always wanted to teach and coming back to them, and this is one of them. This is one of those songs that it's such an iconic acoustic guitar song. It's timeless. It's one that I think most people who are learning acoustic guitar should learn because it's a really great demonstration of a fairly simple set of chords that looks more complicated than it actually is, but comes together to make a really cool and iconic sound. This is a song that most people probably think is harder to play than it actually is. It's really not too terribly challenging, especially when you break it down to the just acoustic guitar part. There's obviously some electric guitar, riffs, solos, things like that in here that we didn't really dive into because we're focusing on acoustic guitar, but the acoustic guitar is very simple, and even the electric guitar, the lead parts of this song are also not too terribly complex if you're interested in learning that kind of stuff as well. This is a really, really beautiful and timeless song, and I'm so stoked to just finally be sharing it with you guys. So guys, I had a lot of fun learning this song. I hope you guys have a lot of fun learning it as well, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all soon.